Good morning. Why don't I show you what Goose is up to while we wait for more people to show up? Oops. Just baking in the sun. That's what she likes to do. All right, looks like we got a few more people coming in. Good morning, everybody. Just watching little Goose over here do her thing. Being super cute. What a little sweetheart. And I guess Kima, she's kind of tucked away. You can't really see her. What you doing, Goosey? What you doing? Hey, sweetie pie. Hi, Goosey. What you doing? What you doing? Okay, yeah, let's get started. Sorry, I just wanted to show you what Goose was up to while we waited for more people to come. Looks like we got about almost 10 people, so I think we can get started now. So we're not going to have a lesson today. Today, it's going to be a very short live stream. I actually just have a question for you. Oh, by the way, the exit slip yesterday was a Minecraft reference. There's two versions of Minecraft, as far as I know. There's the Bedrock edition and there's the Java edition. And it's from my understanding is that the Bedrock edition is you can play with like on PC or like a console or something, but then the Java is just PC, and then you can like mod it and everything, and it's like the kind of like the more original version of Minecraft. That's my understanding of it. I could be completely wrong, but anyway, I prefer the Java edition because that's the only version I've ever played. Anyways, so today I've just got a question to pose to you. Not even really a math question. It's just about your final exam. So I've gone over this with all my other classes, and I just want to get a little bit of feedback from you, and that's what our exit slip is today. It's just going to be about the final exam. So we do have a final exam. We do have one final exam for this class, and this final exam is worth 30% of our grade. Okay, so that's a lot of weight for a final exam. 30%. Now, I had a meeting on Monday with the other math teachers, the whole math department, and we were talking about final exams and what we can do for final exams, and we exchanged some ideas. At the end of the day, we decided that each teacher can just decide what they would like to do for their final exam. So that could look like a lot of different things. I came up with 3 ideas that I think we could experiment with. So I'll share those 3 ideas with you now. So the first idea is just to do a regular final exam. So I'll just write exam. So this would be done on Google Classrooms. So Google Classroom. And we probably have, I don't know, it'd be kind of like one of the assignments that we've done. And we probably have something like 24 hours to complete it, that sort of thing. So kind of more of a traditional final exam. That's one option that we could have. So here's one option is to do just a regular exam. Nothing unusual. I would just give you an assignment. It would be like a pretty big assignment that you'd have 24 hours to do. And that would be one option. Another option would be a project, and I can see in the chat some of you, or I guess one person is talking about a project, like make a snowman on Desmos. Yeah, that'd be cool. I've actually talked to several students about projects. Sort of like even before the school closure. I had sort of spoken with a few students about doing some projects, and I think that there's a lot of good potential in a project. So we would have to talk a lot about the scope of the project, some of the expectations for the project. In my experience, projects they have a tendency to blow up to something really big, and that would be my fear, is that if I give you a week to do a project, then maybe you have this really big idea and it ends up taking 3 to 4 weeks, right? So we don't really want that. We only have a handful of weeks left of the school year, right? So we can't actually do like a massive project. So the project we would have to really think a lot about scale and scope. So how big the project is and what topics you'd be covering on the project. So that would be one option. I like projects because there's a lot of potential for them. There's lots of different things that you can do for a project. So I'm kind of leaning towards that. Another cool idea, which was recommended to me by another teacher, is a reflection. So this would be another idea. Reflection. So a reflection piece. And again, it could look like many different things, but the version of this that was recommended to me was that what you do is you would take a topic that you struggled with in the year, and what you would do is you would look at that topic and say, you know what, I didn't understand this topic. This topic was challenging for me. And what you would do is you would reflect on that and talk about what your struggle was, what it was about this topic that you didn't understand. And then the idea is that you would actually learn it. So you give yourself a second chance to learn something that you struggled with. So it's kind of like a project, except it's a very specific type of project. If you would want to do that, then again, I would have some more expectations for you. I also I can't emphasize this enough. This is still worth 30% of your grade. It's still a substantial portion of your final grade. And looking at a reflection piece could be like, I wouldn't want anyone to think, okay, the reflection piece looks like the least amount of work. I'm gonna do that. If you wanted to do a reflection piece, I would have the same expectations for quality and effort that I would for a regular final exam. Like, it would be a big deal. It would be the final project for this course. So a reflection piece would not just be like, oh yeah, no, I sucked at taking the square root of numbers, but I figured it out. You punch it into your calculator, done. Right? It not like that would be like a 0%, right? That would not be okay. So if you do want a good grade on this final exam, you actually do need to put in an equivalent amount of effort as you would with a regular final exam, which I hope is a lot, right? A lot of effort. Same goes with the project. So another sort of idea that I've had, and I'm not crazy about this, but something tells me that we'll end up sort of doing this. We could do like options, okay? Like we could do like, you know, honestly, like if it was me, and I've said this in other courses too, if it was me, I would want to do the final exam, because a project that it's going to take several weeks of work. Like every day you're going to have to be working on this project, so it's going to be a lot of work. The reflection piece, same thing. This is not something that you can bang out in an afternoon, right? I would want like a full commitment on this. Final exam, on the other hand, by definition, you have a timeline, right? And it'd be kind of cut and dry. And of course, there's some anxiety that comes with exams and final exams, and it'd be a big, huge exam, and there'd be a lot of material on it. It'd be challenging, but the time scale would be, boom, done, like 24 hours. So what we could do is we could do an option, so like a combination of these three. So I could get you to register for the exam. So if you want to do the exam, then you could tell me ahead of time, and then we would set a date for the students who want to do the final exam. If you want to do the project, then you could do the project. If you want to do the reflection, you could do that. I also would like to hear from you if you have any other ideas. So if you have any other ideas, you can throw that in the exit slip today too. Can our marks go down with this or no? Students tend to be asking that quite a bit. So yes, your mark can absolutely go down with a final exam. If your mark is less than what your average is going into the exam, it would certainly bring down your grade. Will it bring it any lower than your March 20th grade? No. So you still have sort of like that bottom grade that you had on March 20th. So anything you do now, it won't be lower than that. We're not allowed to give grades lower than what your grade was on March 20th. So, but yeah, like if you're at like let's say on March 20th your grade was 70, and then between then and now you brought it up to a 90, you could still get an 80. Right? The final exam could still bring you down to an 80. So yes, your marks can go down with this, but they won't go down lower than your March 20th grade. So so that's all I want to cover for today. I'm kind of in the midst of creating our next unit, and you know, if we were in the regular classroom, today would just be a work period. So I'm gonna sign out very shortly. I'd like you to fill out the exit slip, please, and tell me what you think about this. So would you prefer to do a final exam? Would you prefer to do a project? Would you prefer to do a reflection? Do you have any other ideas? And do you want to do a combination of all of this? So that's your exit slip for today. What can you do for the remainder of the time? Well, I would like you to actually do some of that homework that I assigned yesterday. I'd be pretty impressed if you had finished all of it by now. I gave you a fair amount of homework, so I'm going to assume that at least some of you haven't finished it. So if you haven't finished it yet, then that's what I'd like you to work on for the remainder of this period. So yeah, that's what I'd like you to do for this period, is just work on that homework. I'm in the middle of marking your assignments. I thought that I could finish them last night. A few things came up, so I should have them done. I've only got a few assignments left. So yeah, I'll do my best to return those today. Hopefully I should have some extra time now that we have a short class today. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. yeah, let me know what you think. I'd really like to hear your ideas. And yeah, like I said, if you have any other ideas, I'm open to that. But I think that those 3 ideas are kind of the ones I'm leaning towards. I think that most other ideas can kind of be categorized as a project anyway. So if you have this really cool kind of thinking outside of the box idea, it's probably just a special type of project. So, so yeah, let me know what you think. I'm going to sign out. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. And maybe tomorrow I'll have some things to report with respect to the final exam. So take care. Hope you guys are doing well. Bye-bye.